the parents are giving them $200-$300 to go on a shopping spree in Sephora, but you're not even teaching them manners. You're not even teaching them how to conduct themselves in a store like this. They're being rude to the staff. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about these little bad kids running around Sephora and Ulta. Where are their parents? If you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So, y'all, this video is so random. I fell into a rabbit hole on TikTok, and I was watching these people talking about this epidemic of little girls who are between the ages of 9 to 12, and they are all over Sephora, all over Ulta, harassing the workers, pillaging all of the little shelves, looking for Drunk Elephant, which is a skincare brand, and looking for makeup. And I'm not just hearing this from consumers, people just coming in the store looking to have a shopping experience. I'm hearing this from the workers as well. The first woman I heard discuss it, she thought it would be a great idea to have a no children's policy there. And at first I was like, okay. I thought it was about to be a Karen moment. I was like, oh. Little kids really don't have much of a place in Sephora and Ulta, because I'm trying to think, are there like any like cute little kitty brands in there? No. And I've been seeing this discussion more and more as well, like young girls these days, like tween girls, they're not interested in the things that we were interested in, and really they don't have their little celebrities. Like back when I was a little kid, we had Raven Simone, we had Mary-Kate and Ashley, we had Lizzie McGuire, we had the Disney Channel shows, we had the Nickelodeon shows that were dedicated to our age range. Like I mentioned Mary-Kate and Ashley before, they had a whole clothing line in Walmart, and it was like the little tween fashion where it wasn't too old, but it wasn't too young. It wasn't big poofy dresses, but it wasn't fashion over. And I feel like these days these girls are growing up so fast, and I get it. Like they're growing up in a social media age. They're growing up watching YouTubers with the Get Ready With Me. Put a pin in there. We're gonna get back to that. These girls, it's like they don't have someone in their age bracket to look up to. Even if they do, those girls are advanced. Those girls are dressing, like grown women. You know what I'm saying? When these girls are supposed to be teen girls, because even the teens I see these days wearing lace fronts. When I was in high school, I wasn't even a tween. I was not allowed to wear makeup. I was not allowed to dye my hair or wear like colored braids or anything of that nature. I definitely wasn't wearing form-fitting clothes or anything that was too short or revealing. And y'all, I for sure was not worried about skincare. I do have to be sensitive to children that have skincare issues as far as pimples or acne or things like that. I'm not talking about that. But when you're that age, yeah, you might have a pimple or two getting older and going through puberty, but your skin pretty much is virgin, flawless skin. Y'all got the best skin out there, honey. It's got the most elasticity. I feel like the most skincare a child of that age should be doing should be sunscreen, because I feel like everybody needs that. But y'all should not be thinking about retinol. When I was listening to those workers speak, they were saying the girls were asking for Drunk Elephant, which is very expensive, by the way, trying to buy Rare Beauty blush. Y'all are trying to skip the ugly phase. I feel like the ugly phase growing up gives you character. Okay, we all had it. Okay, we all had a phase where we just looked goofy, we looked weird, we looked nerd. For me, I looked super nerdy and awkward, and that's because I really was nerdy and awkward. But we all have that phase where we're not all the way confident with the way we look. You're transitioning from a child to a teenager, you're going through puberty. These kids are skipping that step, and I feel like that's what's building character. While I do understand you don't want your kids to be teased, if I had that back then, I probably would be trying to do it too. But if I had a child, I wouldn't allow my child to use those products, because you're going to think you need those things in order to be beautiful. I feel like that's sending a bad message very early. So speaking of the parenting, because I feel like that's where all of this is starting. Why is your child who is a child running around unattended in Sephora or Ulta, why do they not know any better than to be rambling through shelves and rambling through products? Because I definitely would have got snatched up real fast for touching anything in a store, okay, without permission. Where are these children getting the money? Because that's where the ultimate enabling is coming from, the parents.
So the other day when I was working, we were kind of busy, so the line was kind of long, and this little girl walks up to me, and her basket is literally overflowing. Like, the amount of products that were in there, she had to have been maybe 9, 10, maybe 11 years old, but regardless, definitely way too young to be shopping at Sephora. And I start grabbing the items out so I could scan them, and before I can start, she goes, "Wait, I have 2 perfumes on hold. Can you get those too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course. What's your name?" So I go grab her perfumes, and then she goes, "Can you scan those first so I can see how much they are?" So I proceed to scan the 2 perfumes, and the 2 perfumes alone came out to $300. $300. $300. So after she saw the price of the 2 perfumes, I guess that wasn't enough. So she was like, "Okay, yeah, you can scan the rest of the items in the basket." She's by herself. So I'm kind of just like, who's with her? Like, did she come with a sister, a friend, her mom? Like, who is this little girl with? So I finished scanning all her products, and her total came out to almost $900. After I told her total, she looks at me and she looks at me and she kind of gives me like a nervous kind of look. She's like, and in my head, I'm like, "Girl, yeah, what did you think the total was going to come out to?" So I see her look to her left. To the left, I see that there's an older lady who is her mom and a younger girl, which is her sister. And they're checking out at the register like 2 down from me. And the little girl calls the sister over, and the sister's like, "What? Like, how much is it?" And she's like, "Well, how much was yours?" And the sister goes, $500. She said that so normal, like, she literally looked at her and said, "Yeah, $500. So the one that I'm helping out goes, "Well, mine is almost $900. So then her sister is like, "Well, do you have enough?" And she was like, "No, but I'm probably just gonna use mom's money." Long story short, after minutes and minutes of arguing, the little girl ended up spending $500 at Sephora instead of almost $900, and the mom was okay with that. I've seen a lot of people talking about the ways we can avoid having these little girls come into Sephora, but there's literally no way that it's going to happen without the action of the parents.
First of all, it's a waste because the children don't even need it. I do have some expensive facial products up here, but I don't just use them willy-nilly. I'm trying to preserve, honey. I'm trying to look like Angela Bassett in about 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? But these little girls, they don't need that. The parents are giving them $200, $300 to go on a shopping spree in Sephora, but you're not even teaching them manners. You're not even teaching them how to conduct themselves in a store like this. They're being rude to the staff.
This little girl, while I was assisting another guest, walked up in front of my guest, didn't say hi, didn't say excuse me. She just proceeded to shove a Rare Beauty blush in my face and asked me, "Do you guys have this in the shade? I don't know what shade it is. This shade." Me and my client were just astonished. Like, did she really just do that? So me trying to keep my composure, I'm like, I was kind of in the middle of helping somebody out right now, but I can take care of that when I'm done. And she's like, "Really quick, I gotta go. Like, I just need this one shade." So my client's just like, "Just go." Because, we're both getting annoyed at this point. When I tell y'all, I turned around and looked at the Rare Beauty end cap. There was like 6 of that one blush color. Glow Recipe, Drunk Elephant, Rare Beauty, and Sol de Janeiro. If any little girl walks up to me and says, "Do you have..." I didn't even say, "Let me take you there."
They don't know how to be patient and wait their turn before asking a question. They don't know how to go over here and check to see if the product is here before you bother somebody to go run around here and look for a product for them and then have to clean up their messes that they're leaving behind you. Because
where's the home training?
It just shows a lack of respect for the people that serve you in those capacities. I feel like a lot of times the parents have a certain entitlement with walking in places like this, and it trickles down to the children. The children just don't have any sort of filter at all, so it just comes out in a ravenous way. And y'all don't sound like y'all are checking y'all children either, so it sounds like you think it's okay. I heard an influencer that I follow called Bria Jones, and she was speaking on how she feels like influencers play a role in this.
I'm going to take a wild guess that perhaps there are 12-year-olds in Sephora who think they need skincare because there is a get ready with me epidemic. I have get ready with me fatigue personally. And I'm going to out myself here because that's all I can do. But I was a get ready with me girl. I tried to be because I felt the pressure to do it because I saw other creators become successful from doing get ready with me's. Did it make me successful? No. To be clear, I'm not saying get ready with me's are bad and that you need to stop them, but I am saying if you don't love them, don't do them. I went from trying to post one every single day at the beginning of the year to like now I just do it when I genuinely have the urge. But now that we see 12-year-olds in Sephora who think they need skincare, it's really made me as an influencer become more cognizant about the trends that I'm pushing, especially when I'm not 100% behind that trend, because now look at this byproduct. There's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to go to Sephora as a kid. I mean, if we had it at our age, we probably would have done the same. But for me, this was kind of the last straw to like why I need to do better in 2024 about jumping on trends unless I'm 100% into them myself.
I understand her argument. I see where she's coming from, and I could see her wanting to take responsibility for some of that. I do feel like sometimes influencers should, you know, accept the responsibility for being a role model, especially if you know the demographic of people that consume your content are children. You know what I'm saying? Yes, definitely be mindful of that. But if you're doing a get ready with me and you're putting on skincare, you're putting on makeup, I would think that the people consuming that or should be consuming that would be either teens to adults. The parents shouldn't be allowing their children to constantly consume get ready with me content, because to me that's grown content. They should be looking at something more kid friendly. I know kids are going to watch what they want to watch. I get that as well. We all snuck around and got around the parameters that our parents set. I do think it's something worth looking at with your children and having that conversation about beauty. And you know, you don't necessarily need makeup. This is something they use to enhance their beauty. That's pretty much what I had to say about it. I just can't believe that we are at this point with our children. I feel bad that they don't have baby celebrities that we used to look up to. I used to love the way Raven-Symoné dressed. You know, I wanted to be one of the cheetah girls. Like, you know, it was just a totally different time. They don't have any other options, so they are looking up to these Instagram celebrities and, you know, so TikTokers and YouTubers, because essentially they're just going to compare themselves to that person and they're going to do everything they can to be like that person when they just need to be their little child self. I wish we could put them in a little bubble like when we didn't have social media growing up. I wish we could have them be in their little bubble, because it's just, there's too much reach these days in general, even for adults. I feel like adults have too much reach everywhere on the internet. We just consume other people's lives way too much, and then it trickles down to the children and it's influencing them in the worst way now. And y'all, I don't know what else to say, but y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Give me some more insight, especially if you're a parent to a child of that age. I would love to know how you feel about this trend. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.